Because when journalists speak, the world listens. Tune in to your Shine Supreme radio station and be part of the conversation. Every Wednesday from 11 o'clock to 12 noon. Editors Hangout, the meeting point of journalists by journalists for humanity, society, and the country.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of the show Editors Hangout on Diamond 88.7 FM. Editors Hangout is the platform where seasoned editors and journalists converge to dissect, deliberate, and highlight, and also discuss about national topics that raise their brows and steer national conversation. On the show this morning, we will be discussing the ongoing U.S., Israel, and Iranian war, the causes of the war, the consequences on the economic activities of the world, especially looking at the price of PMS. Not just that, we also come home a bit and we localize the just concluded All Progressive Congress done in Kwara State, with a particular reference to what is happening in Kwara, like I said earlier. We're going to be looking at everything into that, also deliberating it with politics, heading into the primary elections that is coming up that will give us a candidate who will be in ballot boxes for during the 2027 general election under the ruling All Progressive Congress. If you're just joining, this is Editors Hangout, and my name is Adeyemi Adewale. Joining me to discuss this critical issue on the show are two very sharp, respected voices. Veteran, Mr. Michael Abiodun Laniwaju is also the general manager of Diamond FM. Good morning to you, GM. How are you doing?
Good morning, Adewale. Good morning, Nigerians, and good morning to all our listeners all over the world.
Good morning to you. Also, I have with me in the studio Mr. Abiodun Akinwumi. Good morning, Mr. Abiodun.
Good morning, and I'm happy to be here again to discuss topics of public and national importance.
Thank you very much for joining me. So you can also listen to us irrespective of your location, and also you can listen via the Diamond FM website. Just log on to www.diamondfm.net. And you can also follow us across all our social media platforms at Diamond 87 FM. On Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can watch us live on YouTube, Diamond 887 FM, or you log on to that magic dial, 88.7 FM. Good morning once more. Let's start. Let's get into the detail of our conversation. Let's start with what is happening with the world. Let's start with what is happening between the United States and Iran. And quickly, what I want us to deliberate a little bit, and also we have to inform, because it is our duty as journalists to inform. I've heard a lot of things, and I've read a lot of things, opinions about Nigeria, about the U.S., Iran, and Israel, U.S., Israel, and Iranian war currently ongoing. And most Nigerians, like we've witnessed, especially since the death of the supreme leader of Iran, where we got reports and we saw videos of a lot of Nigerians protesting in some parts of the north and also in Lagos states. And some have been attributing the war to a religious war between Iran and Israel, almost likely calling it a Muslim-Christian war. Could it be related to that? Is the war happening in the Middle East involving Israel, US, and Iran? Is it a religious war?
It is not a religious war. We must disabuse our mind, first of all.
Mm.
We ought to know one thing. That is why some of our leaders that have stopped the study of history in the Nigerian schools, that is one of the more reasons why I know that future will never forgive them.
Mm.
It is good to be abreast in history. And you find out that most of the great nations of the world make history a compulsory study. Yes. Because when they are well fast in their own history, they will be fast in other people's history.
Mm-hmm.
And to cap that as it may be, there's something we call the Middle East question in history. Most historians all over the world have been finding it difficult to unravel that Middle East question. And that
What's the Middle East question?
That is why I say most historians find it difficult to unravel what we call the Middle East question. The Middle East question is the crisis that grows up in the Middle East. Most especially, you find out that most of the people that inhabit the Middle East, the Christian, Muslims, even most of them that claims to be Muslims or Christians, they are not Christians. Most of them are not even Muslims. Most of them are, some of them are Judaists. Some of them have some other different religion. But you find out that the Middle East in international affairs is one of the most complex things to really understand. And that is why you find out they are always in crisis most of the time. You find out Israel fought Egypt. Israel fought Palestine. Israel is always at war with almost all its neighbors. Why? Is it because of religion? I'll say no, it's not because of religion. They have a common culture. They have a common language. Beyond what we hear as Arabic, most of them has a common undertone language, which all of them understand. Just some will say, they speak Hebrew, they speak Greek, they speak Arabic. All of these languages are interrelated. And that is why when an Arab greets you, that peace be unto you, he say, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Then when a Muslim say salam,
Wa alaikum salam.
And a Jewish man, an Israeli, will say salam. It tells you that there are inbuilt interrelationship in their language and culture from time.
What I really also want to add, when I get a lot of things about the religion, people almost tagging it with religion. Before we get into the details and the consequences of the war itself, I just needed us to clarify this is some of those that you're even talking about. For Nigeria, and the last time I checked,
it is the war religion.
I don't think it's even
the war against extremism in religious practices.
I don't think it has anything to do with even religion, because for most who are in this war in Israel, they are Jewish. You can't even call them Christians.
Yes.
And for Nigeria, majority of our Islamic brothers or faithfuls, they are Sunnis. For those that you have, they are jihadists. The Iranians most of them are jihadists.
Yes.
So
And they are Shiites.
And they are Shiites. So
Yes.
you can't really attribute that to religion. But let's get into the serious business of the war, Mr. Akin. And we're already feeling the impact. Just this week, Dangote announced that there is a bit of hike in the petroleum sector. We've been seeing bumps here and going up and down. And there's been a lot of accusing figure on the president of the United States, Donald Trump. Some say part of what he also promised the world is the fact that he's going to end the war. That is what's going on between Israel and Gaza, and also between Russia and Ukraine. But they said he has not been able to do that. Instead, his steps is creating a bigger war. Now we see what is happening with Iran. We knew what he has done going into Venezuela to arrest their president. And also we saw what happened with Cuba, his threat to Cuba. To just recently he had a threat to Spain when Spain denied them of using the US base in the country, and he said if they actually want to come into the country to use it, Spain cannot stop them, but they do not need to come into the country to do it. What do you think about President Donald Trump? You think he's the one fueling a lot of this war?
Well, for anybody that believes that Trump will bring peace to Middle East, they are joking, because going by history, Israel has been a long time friend of the United States, and there's nothing you can do about it. And those Iranian, Palestine have been at loggerheads with Israel since the Israeli and Arab War of 1948. Before that, there was no nation of Israel. during the Holocaust and Second World War, they get a place in what of more of Palestine to settle those people that are Jews. Then we have the Zionist movements on the other side. And most of those ruling class in the US, they are Jews. So when you're talking about Israel, you're talking about US. And the attack on Israeli soil on some years ago, where some Israelis were killed and some are taken hostage. So these are genetics of this current situation. So Israel accused Iran of being the one that is empowering Hamas. Also Hezbollah and Lebanon. So they said they believe that they are the one that is sponsoring them. Now, just at the basis of the war, by that 1948, after that war, Israel won. And most of these Palestinians, they have been living in a conflict camp since that time. So since that time, there was no nation of Palestine as far as I'm concerned, and it has declared independence. But before that time, we have League of Nations, which has gave a draft that there should be a two-state solution to those crises. That means should recognize the state of Palestine and Israel. So before Donald Trump came to power, a lot of countries, even Canada, have recognized the state of Palestine, which Israel and US are not happy with. And most of those countries that declare that say they recognize Palestine are US allied. The European Union, Canada, and Mexico. Those are allied of the US. The countries that you can see in South America that are not friends of the US or North America and Cuba. Start on top of Fidel Castro, they are having issue with Israel. They have issue with US. So, but countries like France, this are friend of the US. Then some part of the Middle East too, like Qatar, UAE, and even in Saudi Arabia, they are friend of the US. But Iran has made it clear that they are with Palestine. And you think it was with Palestine before the declaration of independence of Israel. Zionist, they had to attack Egypt. Since that Egypt has been quiet. And we should not understand the relationship between Israel and Egypt. That's not when you go to Jerusalem for pilgrimage that you not go to Egypt. Yeah, the Mount Sinai and some part of those are in Egypt. So through that, Egypt are getting part of revenue. Jordan too, they are getting it. So those ones are silent. But Qatar, and the Saudi Arabia, they are on the side of US. And they are silent. And when you are the US, you cannot support Palestine. But Iran they are in support of Israel, of Palestine, that this injustice that is done to Palestine is enough. But the only thing I have with Palestine is this war and terror approach to the peace between them and Israel. During the time of Yasser Arafat, when Yasser Arafat was the leader of Palestine, there was peace between the two countries because they approached Israel with dialogue. But since the death of Yasser Arafat, Hamas has approached it with kind of conflict, attacking Israel, taking hostage. And one of the things in attacking Israel and US is don't take Israel citizen or US citizen hostage. They can destroy your whole country to rescue a citizen of their country.
But one of the conversation of this war is the fact that President Donald Trump has said nuclear weapons, Iran should not be allowed to have their own nuclear weapons.
I think that's always been the excuse of US to attack other countries. They did the same thing when they attacked Iraq in 2003.
Yes.
They said they have method of man destruction. I remember Colin Powell, who was then US Secretary of State.
Yes.
He said Iraq have weapon of mass destruction. Since that time, how many have they shown the world mass destruction that Iraq have? But during the Gulf War of 1993, Iraq was on the side of US Saddam Hussein, and they see that he has grown when he has become powerful. So that attack on Iraq 2003 was not something like mass destruction. Even this one is just by the side. Because what I would like it to know, that was one of the reasons why the Iraq foreign minister was saying that they are already discussing. There was a meeting like 2 weeks ago. Was it not in Turkey? About this nuclear something. So they are already negotiating. So when you are negotiating, why are you not attacking? So, but this one is about the support of Iran for Palestine. Because apart from attacking Iran, they also attacked Lebanon like 2 days ago. Because Iran, Lebanon too, they are like supporting Palestine. So, but as far as I'm concerned, my own take on this is, whether I would like it or not, this thing cannot end with conflict. Whether they suppress them today, the generation of Palestine that is coming will still be attacking Israel because they cannot be refugee in their own land. Now, they don't have access to here. They don't have access to sea. Even the border, they are crossing border with Egypt. Israel are the one manning it. So because everything will go to Gaza from Egypt, they have to pass through the US. They are even closing it for more than 3 years. They just opened it like 3 or 4 weeks ago for the relief material to be coming. So whether if they suppress it, whether they like it or not, generation yet unborn, we still at it because the injustice is there. So what I will advise is US, whether they support them or not, because whether I would like it or not now, both countries are at the same end. A lot of US soldiers have been killed too. A lot of US targets in Saudi Arabia, a refinery in Saudi Arabia was attacked.
About 550 barrels per day. Destroyed.
Now, so whether we like it or not, both of them will be at the receiving end. And Republicans should not forget that when George Bush went to war with Iraq and Afghanistan then, the economy of America have to come down. That was why they voted for Barack Obama to restable the economy of the US, because whenever they go to this war, economy of America will suffer. It suffered during the time of George Bush. That was why even all of that American soldiers were killed. A war that was unnecessary. Yes. So it's going on the same path now.
Do you think this war is necessary? Before we continue our conversation, because we also have to look at the economic situation not just on the world, we have to try and streamline it to Nigeria, which is our own concern. Because whether we want to be serious with it or not, there's been a lot of memes going on the social media page. I think I had one yesterday, a religious leader in Nigeria also saying, let every Nigerian go to Gaza to go and join them in the war. And let us know what we can do. Our government, the approach to it, is it the right approach? Those are just part of the things we will come and look into after this commercial break. We'll come back from this commercial break and we'll continue our conversation. You're still listening to Editors Hangout on Diamond 88.7 FM.
Àwọn oúnjẹ aládùn tó fẹ́ràn láti máa ṣe o. Tó bá fẹ́ ṣe oúnjẹ tó wúni lórí o.
Ṣé jọ̀lọ́ àtàdédé kódà àsáró tàbí spaghetti bí oúnjẹ tó ta wọ́n yọ pẹ̀lú pẹ́pẹ́ tẹ̀rà.
Lálọ́mọ́ ó wá sọ ohun mímu amárají pépé bẹ̀rù ká ní lúbúlúbú márají pépé bẹ̀rù ká ní energy drink tó ń mára kọ́fẹ́ bẹ̀rù ká ní o. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ kájú wọn pẹ̀lú rákàrà kọ́fẹ́ bẹ̀rù ká ó dára ká máa ní lọ́wọ́ lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ nínú mọ́tò tó bá ti fẹ́ máa rẹ ni bẹ̀rù ká ní ó já sómi pẹ̀lú rákàrà dé o. Bẹ̀rù ká o bẹ̀rù ká energy drink yìí máa dára. Jagere lọ́nà fún tọkùnrin tóbìnrin ló lè mú bẹ̀rù ká ẹlẹ́rìí máa dára.
Bẹ̀rù ká agbára gbàǹgbà agbára tó jagbára lọ. Energy drink lọ́gán tó bá wọnú ara agbára ti dé. Àjọ náà kì í jẹ ló ń tẹ̀. Ilé-iṣẹ́ tó lórúkọ tó ṣe gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi ká pọ̀ oògùn òyìnbó tó yí pharmaceutical ló gbé jáde.
Bẹ̀rù ká ẹlẹ́rìí máa dára.
Welcome back from the commercial break. You're still listening to Editors Hangout on Diamond 88.7 FM. And before we went to that commercial break, we were discussing the war between US and Israel and also Iran. Iran has retaliated. It started with US and Israel attacking Iran. Iran has retaliated, also attacking their neighboring state housing the US military base, and where some of those attacks have taken place into their country. And they have also remained adamant that the attack will continue, while also both parties have also said they are open to negotiations, including US and Israel, and also for Iran. But unfortunately, the supreme leader of Iran, he has lost his life in this war. They've appointed a new supreme leader, and also unfortunately for the United States of America, they've also lost several soldiers, about 5 or 11 being counted within that region. But the exact number of soldiers who have been whose life have been lost have not been given to us. So the $1 million question asked on the show is President Donald Trump and his steps to ensure that peace in the world, peace return between international politics. How could you rate it in terms of what he's doing? Because we also have one of the criticism of President Trump. Chama, let me bring in on this. We have said just a few months back, I think in the year 2025, there was an attack on Iraq from Iran from US, where they said they have neutralized all their nuclear weapons, that it is going to take them years before they can build another one. So the question now, the begging question to President Donald Trump is, why are you now having this war? Why are you now saying it is because because they are developing a nuclear weapon? Because you told us that you have destroyed it.
To me, as a person, I see Donald Trump fighting some causes beyond what we are seeing. It's like he's looking to root out the source of terrorism in the world. He's trying to maybe root out, destroy the source of extremism. Because to the US and the Israeli ally, it's like Iran has become the base or training ground for extremists and terrorists. And they believe that with all their allies in the Middle East, like the Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and what have you, they are confident that their ally will always work hand in hand with them. But with Iran still becoming a training ground for extremists, they believe that the war against terrorism can never be won until they are able to suppress Iran. Because you find out that Iran is the training ground for all the Hamas, and the Hamas is the armed circle of Palestine. You get the point there. And some of the countries of the world, especially those who are who are going into extremism, had almost all their training from Iran. So definitely to Israel and the allied forces of US and others, they believe that Iran must be dealt with in order to reduce extremism. But to those of them who believe that you don't need to be extremists to be able to be faithful, to be able to practice your faith, like Saudi Arabia, most of them are Sunnis. But Shiite has its headquarters in Iran. And with the fall of Iraq, after the 1991 war, mother of all battles, you find out that it now remains Iran. And with the current crisis, a whole generation of war commanders has been wiped up. And it has taken years and so much to train this set of war commanders that are eliminated by the US-Israeli strike. This is a very great challenge to the configuration of the Middle East. And it has now actually affected all parts of the world, because when two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. The conflict in the Middle East has now affected the inflationary rate of energy all over the world. And now you find out that the prices of oil and other things rises suddenly because of this very conflict. And there are a lot of other things apart from energies that are also actually affect.
Now, before we get deep into that one, you also share the sentiment that some of the insecurity, let's look at Nigeria as an example, some of the insecurity we are having in Nigeria, which over a period of time has been tagged to extremism. Let's start with Boko Haram, coming from Western education, Islam, to banditry that we are suffering right now. We see some of the things that they do whenever they make their videos. There are a lot of questions, and we've had a lot of intel of people who tell you some of them are not Nigerians, they are Nigerians, they are immigrants. The truth of it, we have not, we do not know. Do you think everything has to do with Iran? Like Marwa just...
I don't believe Iran is the one that's doing extremism, because the question we ask ourselves is 70, 50, 60 years ago, do we have things like this? Now, when we begin to have extremism is when US start to middle into the politics of the Middle East. Now, when do you have to talk about terrorism? It started with Al-Qaeda, which was trained by the US. Al-Qaeda came to force when USSR invaded Afghanistan in 1982. So they were like during the time of Cold War. Okay, Russia is USSR is in Afghanistan. They don't want USSR to succeed. Okay, they try to support Al-Qaeda. By the time USSR left in 1990, they already tagged Osama bin Laden like a terrorist. He could not enter Saudi Arabia again. He moved to Sudan. While in Sudan in 1990, he attacked the US embassy in East Africa. But in 2001, he attacked the US during the 9/11 attack. Now, this current situation that we are talking about, whether you like it or not, US, they are involved. Now, what happened in Libya? Is it the part of Iran too? You eliminate Saddam Hussein by supporting those that are anti-governments in Libya. Until that time, they are not able to have election.
Is this Saddam Hussein?
No, this guy, Gaddafi. Before the invasion of Libya was in peace. I know some Nigerians that enjoyed the scholarship in Libya. I know someone that was trying to cross to Europe through Libya. He was stranded, and they gave him scholarship. He was doing his master. The money that they was giving him, he was even sending to his parents and his children at home. Suddenly, you said you want to protect the civilian, the NATO, and they supported the terrorists to kill Gaddafi. Since that time, those terrorists are the one in charge. We have two parallel governments, one in Tripoli, one in Benghazi. So we blame that on Iran too. So you cannot be doing injustice and you expect peace. So instead of saying you want to wipe it, I advise the US to go and renegotiate and make sure that they make sure that the equity. You cannot justify going to another country and kill their leader that because they are doing extremism. That's not justification for that kind of evil. Whether I would like it or not, it started with Venezuela. Going to a country overnight to arrest its leader, and then you want to try him in US. What's that sovereignty of these people? That was saying US, they want some people that attack Havana during the time of Fidel Castro, though they failed. Because Cuba is supporting Russia. I think they are a communist country. Yes. Very close to US. Yes. And the same thing Russia is avoiding when you are supporting Ukraine to stand against Russia. And these are things that you cannot allow in your own territory. And that's why, whether I like it or not, even if they assimilate Iran, if they continue their injustice, another set will still rise. So US should stop meddling into what's happening in the Middle East. Now, because of their own economic interest, why are they having military base in Qatar? Why? Can Russia have the military base in Cuba? Can Russia have military base in Mexico and Canada? Can they allow it? So you cannot do injustice and you expect peace. And that's why it's irony of what Trump stands for. He said he want to break peace. You cannot make peace by making war. And I want to say this: there is no sacrifice that is too much for peace. Because I would like it or not, peace cannot be unequal.
Now let's in dialogue.
Now let's get into the one that affects us. We've spoken about the historical belief of the war and the fact that we've established. Please, it is not a religion war. Sure. That has been established. So let's get into the one that affects us. Let's get into talking the economics. Dangote Refinery announced an increment in the refinery just recently because of what is happening in the Middle East. And the fact that just a few days after the refinery in Saudi Arabia was also attacked. And it begs a lot of questions from the Nigerians and saying, I think at a point we have the crude for naira negotiation. So if something like this is happening in the Middle East, why is it affecting us? So far, this is our crude oil. We are selling it for you in naira. Are we not supposed to be making more money off people that need it? Because the demand on Nigerian oil
high.
that is peaceful is expected to be high when there is chaos in the Middle East, which seems like one of our biggest competitors alongside Venezuela. Even Venezuela is not even peaceful at this point in time, and United States. So logically, people will look at it like Nigeria is supposed to be making more money, not us now reaping more money from the citizens.
Definitely we make more money. Because that's never a time that crisis in the Middle East and Nigeria will not make more money. During the Gulf War, IBB was in power. Nigeria make a lot of billions of dollars.
Then why are we increasing the price?
Because during that time, Nigeria was one of the major suppliers of crude oil to the United States. And whenever there is a crisis in the Gulf, that automatically there will be disruption in the oil price because most of the oil in the world is coming from that region. But it's a two-way thing. Now, immediately the price increase. Nigerian government will be selling it at the same price to our own refinery here. Though it will be we sell it in naira. But in the equivalent of that in dollar, that's what they will sell to Dangote. But whether we like it or not, the Nigerian government revenue will increase. Because I think the benchmark in the budget is even was $75 per barrel, and it's going to almost $100 now. That means we have excess crude. But it's not left to government. Are they going to use that money that increase to subsidize? Because as the money revenue to government is increasing, the money we are going to buy will also increase, whether we like it or not. Because the refinery will increase their money, they will increase the price we are buying all our electronic products.
Let's quickly go on this quick commercial break. Mawa, I will come back to you. And after this commercial break, we'll come back to also taking your reaction. And we need to also discuss what is happening in Kwara. Quick commercial break. We will be back.
Ó wá sọ ohun mímu amárají pépé mẹ́rọ́kà ní lúbúlúbú márají pépé mẹ́rọ́kà ní energy drink tó ń máa kọ́fẹ́ mẹ́rọ́kà ní o. Ẹgbẹ́ kájú mọ́ pẹ̀lú rákàrà kọ́fẹ́ mẹ́rọ́kà ó dára ká máa ní lọ́wọ́ lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ nínú mọ́tò tó bá ti fẹ́ máa rẹ ni mẹ́rọ́kà ni ó já sómi pẹ̀lú rákàrà dé o. Mẹ́rọ́kà mẹ́rọ́kà o mẹ́rọ́kà energy drink yìí máa dára. Jagere lọ́nà fún tọkùnrin tóbìnrin ló lè mú ẹ̀rọ́kà ẹ̀rìnkì màdàrà.
Ẹ̀rọ́kà agbára gbàgbà agbára tó jagbára lọ. Energy drink lọ́gán tó bá wọnú ara agbára ti dé. Àjọ náà kì í jẹ ló ń tẹ. Ilé-iṣẹ́ tó lórúkọ tó ṣe gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi ká pọ̀ oògùn òyìnbó tó yí pharmaceutical ló gbé jáde.
Ẹ̀rọ́kà energy drink màdàrà.
Welcome back from the commercial break. The phone line is open 0913-655-6952. 0913-655-6952. WhatsApp is 0913-655-6864. If you're just joining, it's Editors Hangout, and we're just discussing, trying to look at the war in the Middle East between US, Iran, and also Israel. We've talked about a lot of things, the religion affiliation to the war, the historical understanding about the war, and currently we're discussing the economic impact of the war to the entire world. So we're throwing the phone line open 0913-655-6952. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello?
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Brian, not the beginning of the last week I said that they are doing security and this will not be. And the economic will unravel the whole world. America is the one that is causing all these problems across the globe. And the area, Nigeria will be very careful in taking to that issue to be better for us. So America is the problem of the world. And that is true, but nothing but true.
Thank you very much for your contribution. He believes that majority of what is happening in the Middle East can also be attributed to some of the actions and inactions of the United States of America. Phone line is still open 0913-655-6952. Now, let me come to you. We're talking about the economical impact, and you're about to add something earlier. And I spoke about the fact that we got an announcement that our petroleum prices have gone up. That when we are having naira for crude, Nigerians will only expect that there is demand in the world, which means that right now we should have more revenue. And if you are doing naira for crude, it means we should be able to at least still be buying it and the amount we are buying it, and we should be enjoying while we are making more money off the rest of the world.
One thing is so clear: when the Middle East snitches, the whole world catches the code. And what do I mean? When immediately there are crises in the Middle East, and Middle East is so endowed with a lot of oil to energize the whole world. When there is crisis there, it means the whole world will catch the impact because it affects the world energy inputs. Be that as it may be, you find out that with this crisis, Nigeria's government will harm more because the oil industry has been liberalized. And with our policy, with our current policy, which makes us go even at the same power with the world rate, it means more money will come into the Nigerian government. But how deep would this money translate into the pocket of the common man is another challenge. How are we sure that even when the federal government makes more money, it will not be given to the subnational? And when it's even given to the subnational, how does it get to the people at the grassroots? These are some of the challenges we should expect from this crisis. But by and large, I know Nigeria, just like what happened during IBB, will make billions of dollars.
Now let's quickly.
I think what I will advise is the more money the government is make, they use it to subsidize the petrol that we have in the country, so that Nigerians will not buy fuel more than 1,000. Because whether we like it or not, the way this thing is going, petrol will go for more than 1,000 naira to a dollar by a liter.
Yes, a liter.
Because where I'm going now, whether we like it or not, before
So
we
they should
can-
return subsidy.
definitely, the more money that they are getting, they can use to subsidize the local content, the local consumption. Because at least the government is having enough now. If we are selling 2 million barrels per day, that means $20 on each barrel that we are selling, above the benchmark of the budget. Because we're not going to make more money, but inflation will rise. Because the form of transportation will increase. Well, if you are selling to Dangote based on the world market price, that means price of petrol will go up, gas and everything.
So like the whole world is feeling it. We are
Everything
making more
is
money,
feeling
but
it.
we also feel it.
We don't feel it, but government will be trying.
That's what I said.
If they can use the money to
Middle
subsidize.
East snitches, the world war catches the code.
Let's go back to taking your reaction. So, hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Alaji Karma Idris.
Alhaji Garba Idris. Good morning to you. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Alapata, Papa Soldier.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you. Share your contribution. Welcome to Diamond FM.
So this is Saturday. I really felt I miss Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein. If I did these two people are still alive, I think America would they won't have gotten easy to attack Iran. And this is what discussing the game Nigeria may have. You know, during the so-called the other Gulf War when Babangida was in government, where we use Nigerian government for God. But the one who really pain me is that what is the problem? Although the interest of Israel was because during the case of Hamas. I mean, but what are the United Nations looking at? Because if I should remember, when the Americans took this step, the British asked America to justify the reason of taking that stand against Iran. I don't know whether you know heard of it. And nobody is asking America. Although most of their reason of taking the step is ready to say, oh, if you want any other person, superpower, or whatever, anybody that plays money.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much
America
for your
has already turned itself to the world policeman. They think they can just police any nation at their disposal at any time.
Well, some would say they have the right. They are the word power.
Who wants the right? Because
0913-655-1652.
if the other country kept quiet now, we don't know the next. If they could go the same thing for Venezuela, they are already threatening Colombia too.
Yes.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, it's Rotimi Komoro.
Mr. Rotimi from Oro, quickly, you share your contribution.
My contribution is we need peace. If left to America and Israel, party, whatever, nothing can split them. But if left to the Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, they need to make peace with these people. Because I remember the 1991 when they are fighting with Saddam Hussein. These people are ready. To me, it's very aggressive. And some of them are so, discriminative, prejudiced. So they don't like some other people, color, wherever they are mad. And because of that, they do that as and it's not good enough to be a leader. A leader must not be discriminative. He must be friendly with everybody. But with the way Donald Trump, and like you said, George Bush, you can see how to be critical. What one when they said I'm saying what
Thank you.
it easy.
Thank you very much.
Too easy that time.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you so much, Baba.
Thank you very much. Let's quickly talk about the Congress of the APC. Yesterday, we got a report APC in the state actually did their own state Congress, and the party chairman was re-elected. The governor in his own statement also spoke about the fact that there is no zoning in the state, looking at the 2027 gubernatorial candidates of the party. That zoning is not part of it. And I think we have in the electoral law, they said it has to be direct primary or consensus. I don't think there is zoning. So what does it say about the political landscape in Kwara? What's the fate of the people from the Kwara North who think this is our time, our look on for governorship in 2027?
I think one of the people that was on our national live last week, Miriam Alexander Ahmed, stated it clearly that there could be no zoning in Kwara because when the people of Kwara North are saying that it is their turn, are they united? Are they ready to fight for power? That power is not something that somebody will just come and give you. You have to struggle for it. And people have to see you struggle. And at the same time, those people struggling for that power must display the competency that is needed. Those are some of the qualities the man was saying when he was appeared on our national affairs about a week ago, specifically now. But by and large, I think what really happened during this Congress was a step to realignment of forces within the ruling APC in the states. Because you find out that they use consensus. But even those that might feel aggrieved kept quiet.
Agreed to the consensus.
Yes. Kept quiet. And the thing has been almost what happened to almost all the APC congresses throughout the country. It was it's as if the governor have their way. Because most of the states will returned through consensus. There's hardly any state where they actually applied any direct primary. You get the point that it means that possibly the party structure are in the hand of the governor that dictates the pace. But by and large, this does not apply when it comes to primary because the divergent views will really come out. And the divergent views will come out by the number of aspirants that emerges from the party.
We're saying this because also over the weekend there was a video of one of the reported gubernatorial candidates, the aspirants, who is also aspiring to be governor, coming out to declare his intention, and that's Yasiriki, where he was in his own words also saying he is aspiring to be governor. And like I said earlier, it begs the question of people from the Kwara North. it is being assumed or believed in the state that the ruling party is going to give them the candidates to be the governor. Don't forget, that's what the PDP did in the last election. They actually presented a candidate from the Kwara North.
But I think based on what the governor has said, I think it's as true the election, you throw it open. And I will advise the candidate from the Kwara North too to go and declare their interest. As far as Kwara is concerned today, I think it's only APC, I think it's only the Ashiriki that have officially declared. So I think
there are some also from
who have officially declared
In the APC.
In the APC.
I know the PDP, Ali Hamad.
Yes, in APC, I think the only one that have officially declared. Other is that still about the room of their interest. So I will wait on what the governor has said now, that everybody is that it's about to be party. So I think everybody should come out and declare their interest and make sure that they spread their tentacles. Because if you are going to do consensus or anything, it's not only Quran, if you are Quran, it's only Quran not that will decide whether you are going to be the candidate. So I will advise them to try and spread their tentacles and make sure that they consult with all the zones. Because what I would like to know, who will be governor will not be governor of Kwara North, will be governor for the whole Kwara State. So I will expect the political candidate from that Kwara North to spread.
What does it say about the APC in Kwara? Because we know a lot of times, especially during the second tenure of the governor, we had reports of him having a bit of disagreement with one of the senators, Senator Soli Mustafa.
And yesterday they arrived in the same bus.
That's what Mao just said. Is it like the party is like they're coming back? So are they coming back, or the senator has been crippled politically?
It shows that,
because don't forget, it shows that one of the allies of the APC, Abdul Gomino, that's the name is being called, also came out to say that Senator Soli Mustafa is not a leader in the party. That in terms of governance, he is a leader, but in the party, there is a stakeholder in his own words.
I think those are supporting those political gladiators have the right to say what they want to say. But what we see yesterday, if they are not on the same page, they will not arrive at the same time. And if anyone,
because they're on the same page, or the senator has no choice again. He has been crippled like
it's not being crippled.
There's no permanent friend though.
So as far as one concerned, it's not about being crippled.
So there's no permanent. It's about alignment. The senator has been given what he is asking for.
Well, we cannot say now, but at least for now, there's alignment. They are both on the same page. But if they are not on the same page, they will not arrive at the same time, and they will not all of them will not agree. If you see the way they sit beside each other, and those are the leaders of the power, will like it or not, because they are based on their position. Governor is number one, and all that's followed, and they are there at the same time. So, which means to their supporters that are saying other things, they are on the same page. As far as yesterday is concerned. So when they are not started picking candidates, maybe they cannot be on. But whether I would like it or not, without what happened yesterday, all those that are spreading rumors that they are having conflict should go and sit down and let everybody go and plan. So if you are going to go to a governor, I expect you to go and be planning now.
The governor also said yesterday that there's no opposition in Nigeria, by extension also in Kwara.
I would not say there is no opposition in Nigeria.
But that's what the governor said.
Even in Kwara, there are opposition.
Are there opposition?
Yes. We have ADC, we have PDP.
We have them in names.
Yes.
Do we have opposition present?
We have opposition.
They are present.
We have opposition. You see,
how credible are they?
Yes, you cannot denigrate anybody until election comes and go. Anything can happen in politics. Even 24 hours is too much in politics.
Some have also criticized the governor that such statements should not be coming, that he's still the governor of the state.
Well, it's the governor of the state, not a politician.
Political statements.
So he has said this, and he's now left to the opposition to show that, yes, they are not dead.
He has even said that to even ginger the APC more. The APC members to feel that they are in strong position and work harder for his party.
So I advise the governor too to watch his back, so that the crisis in APC will not energize the opposition.
They will not kubara him too by the time.
So that he will not energize the opposition, because if there is any crisis,
what's the chances of the APC in 2027? It's just so close. It's in January 2027. The chances of the APC, we need to go back to taking course. Our time is fast spent.
I would say the chances of APC are still bright, because just as you've said, the opposition have not started fully to actually challenge.
So the governor was right. There's no opposition.
There is, but they have not really come out strongly as opposition.
As I'm concerned, I think Kwara State is still quiet now.
Yes.
And whether I would like it or not, by the end of April, every party must produce their candidates.
Let's go back
So
to
if by this
people.
time we have less than 2 months and everything is still quiet.
0913-655-6952. 0913-655-6952. WhatsApp is 0913-655-6864. Please, when you call in, make sure you please help us summarize your opinion within 60 seconds. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from.
God bless you, sir. Godwin from Nigeria.
Mr. Godwin, quickly, 60 seconds.
You see, I don't like one political party. We must have opposition. We must have opposition. And second, concerning America and Iran. Go back to the Bible and see what God has said. That the end has come, but not now. That the nation will rise against nation. It's there. We can never avoid the work of God or His word. We can never change it. Let us be prayerful for peace for the whole world. And Nigeria and Kwara, peace will reign in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much for your contribution, Mr. Godwin from Lajari. 0913-655-6952. That's the number to call. 0913-655-6952. WhatsApp is 0913-655-6864. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from? Mr. Rotimi.
Situation in Kwara now, I'm telling the politician. When you say, you know me more, Emmanuel and Kejim, let us wait to 2027. Well, let us wait all this primary come up. I will bet you that some of them will lose their political career. This concession they are talking about, they say they have been fighting. You cannot just come to party and say you want to get one position. You have to be online. That will split them. That will split them. And I know one politician you talked about 2 weeks ago, he has studied them. I know where they are going. You will see. What the governor is saying that if anybody can make his own statement, he's making no statement. He's an exit governor. He has so number of days in the government now. The days in the government is numbered. So you need to be careful with what he's doing.
Thank you very much.
Ready to confirm his chairman, whatever you see name. But governor is going.
Thank you very much.
There's no third time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You mean Prince Sunday Fagbemi? That's the name of the APC chairman who was re-elected yesterday for his second term. He's been there for the first time. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning, Bamidele Gift.
Bamidele Gift. Good morning.
On U.S. Israel war, I go with those who they are calling terrorists, you see themselves as freedom fighters. The only problem we have is that majority of Muslims, 8 they are Sunnis, they are not Shiite. So you can see that the word, the Sunni Muslims like Qatar, UAE, Bahrain, Iran is attacking them also. Coming together, the peace in it's like the peace of the graveyard there. Let us wait and see after the nominations what we have. Throughout Nigeria, definitely there can be no one party. There have been inclusion because an average politician see politics as business.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Thank you to my dear colleague for joining me on the show this morning. My name is Adeyemi Adewale. And don't forget, when you wake up every morning, say a word of prayer for Nigeria. From all of us in the studio, we say God bless Nigeria. Good morning.